For this whole video, I'm going to be going over first like the basics of each of these. Then I'm going to tell a story on how I found these or how I came to the conclusion that these are the 3 steps you need. And then I'm just going to delve into each one. So I think if you'll like scroll over it, it'll show you like the chapters, whatever. So if you don't care about some certain things, you can just skip. But I suggest that you at least watch all 3 of the in-depth versions, or like all the in-depth chapters of these. So let's get into it. So step 1 is commitment. What this means is you just try to make yourself mentally want to do this. And there's a little bit more to that, but this is just kind of an overview, so that's about it. Just making yourself mentally want to do this. Step 2 is habits. This just means find habits that you want to do that'll help you improve in the area that you want to improve in. So just as a quick example before we go into the next section, if you want to improve your mental health, then meditation, reading the Bible, stuff like that, and gratitude journaling, those are examples of habits that you find that you want to do. Again, I'm going to talk more about it, but let's just go to the next section. Section 3 is execute. So once you have committed to wanting to improve yourself, and once you have found habits that you want to do, you execute the plan. You just make a habit tracker, and I'll explain that later. You'll make one, and you'll track your progress, and you improve. That's pretty much what step 3 is, just the work of self-improvement. Anyway, my hair's like flat as balls. I just shampooed, by the way, so I have like a towel around me. But, so, how did I come to this conclusion that we need these 3 steps? So, let me just kind of explain how I came to self-improvement first, and just I'll kind of go from there. So, around a year ago, like the summer before I started high school, I'm a sophomore now, but before I started high school, I was playing a game called Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. It's like a medieval game. It's not really like a shooter or anything, but I have like 700 hours in that game. But I was playing that game, and I have 2 monitors, so I had the game here, and then I had a YouTube over here, because I like to watch YouTube and play games at the same time. So I had YouTube open, and I saw this guy named Hamza talking about improving himself. He's also a very good YouTuber to watch, so check him out below. But I saw him, and I was like, that sounds cool. So I was like, let me do this. And for the first couple weeks I found, or probably months actually, the first couple months that I like found him, I didn't actually start self-improvement, and that's why commitment is like step 1, because like, let me just tell a story, but that's why commitment is step 1. But yeah, so I didn't start it for a while, and then I watched a video of his saying that I'm pretty much like the P word if I don't do it. I don't like cursing that much, but I'm a scaredy cat, we'll say that. I'm a scaredy cat for not starting. And then he was talking about YouTube, but it was the same for me for self-improvement, so I kind of did both. I saw that video, I was like, he's right. So I started self-improvement, and then 2 months later I started YouTube. The reason, let's just go to the story on why I picked step 1, commitment. I picked commitment because, like I said, I didn't even start it for a couple months after finding it out. So if you can make a mental commitment to starting self-improvement, then you'll start first faster. You'll like immediately get into it, and if you mentally commit to it, then you can start faster, and it's like as soon as you find out about it, you can start self-improvement. And I think in the long run it'll just be better for you, because you won't quit. So yeah, once I finally did start self-improvement, I was watching the Hamza guy a lot. I didn't have any books or anything, and I saw him talking about this book called Atomic Habits, and it's a book about the second step called habits. Habits is pretty much it's all of self-improvement. It's the meat and potatoes, I think is what the saying is, or something like that. But it's the main thing. So that's why step 2 is habits, because to build habits, to become the person that you want to be, you have to find the habits that he would do and then do them yourself so that you become him. Yeah, so I got Atomic Habits, I read that, and then I started building my habits, which is step 3, executing. You can't just talk about, or like oh yeah, I want to do these habits. You actually have to go out and work and do them. So those are the 3 steps, how I came to them. Step 1, because I didn't start for a couple months, and it's important to start immediately if you want to. Step 2, habits, because that's what all of self-improvement is. And step 3, because to do the habits is you have to actually work and do them. So that's how I came to this conclusion. Now let's get into the explanation of all 3 steps. Okay, so starting off, step 1. And by the way, if my voice sounds weird, it's because I'm tired. I just came back from school. It's currently it's 3:30 p.m. right now, so I'm just trying to record a video before I procrastinate more. So that's why I kind of sound like this. I don't usually talk like this, but hold up. So yeah, step 1 is commitment. So let's explain what this is. So let me tell you how to actually commit to self-improvement. Let me tell you to do step 1. So to commit to it, you have to mentally say in your mind as many times as possible, like all the time, that you want to do this and eventually it'll become true. I'm a big fan of like tricking yourself into things and then like them helping you, like self-hypnosis. I think that's a good thing, because if you think of yourself in a better way, then you can actually become a better person. So I think self-hypnosis is really good, and just continuously telling yourself that you want to do this, you will eventually want to do it. Another thing with commitment is if you commit to this path of self-improvement, then you won't quit it, or at least it'll be a lot harder to, because you have like a investment into self-improvement. So if you want to like an outer way of showing how to like a commitment, for me, I cut my hair. I didn't mean to do it as a commitment, but it kind of ended up becoming that, because I cut my hair and then I started self-improvement, and that kind of marked a new chapter in my life, because I used to have hair that went down like here. I'll put a picture. But yeah, so if you want to have like a physical like showing of your commitment, then cut your hair or change the way your room's around. Like I used to have this desk facing this way, and then stuff like that. Like change something around you, like change your environment to change yourself. I made a video about that, and I think it's just important to do that because it like cements that in your mind and makes it like noticeable outside of your mind. You know what I'm saying? So commit. Make yourself commit to this if you truly want to become the best version of yourself. So step 2, habits. Okay, so earlier I was saying that habits are the meat and potatoes. They are the bulk of self-improvement. And it's important to find habits that you want to do. So imagine who you want to be in the future, right? Let's say I want to be Jeff Bezos, right? What is he doing right now that makes him who he is? What did he do in that, like, because I can't jump to him. So like, let's say you want to be a trillionaire, right? What did this guy do to become a millionaire? And then what did this guy do to become a billionaire? And then like, you know what I'm saying? So find somebody who's a couple steps ahead of you, but not like a mile, and then do what he did, and find what habits he would have. So if you want to be a bodybuilder, guy exercises every single day, take that as a habit, you know? So if you want to become a person, take their habits and put them into yourself, and you'll become that person eventually. So I'm going to give you some basic habits to improve yourself, and I'm going to explain the habit tracker. That's also from Atomic Habits, so buy the book. Let me get it real quick. I dropped my knives. Bullet. So this one right here, I took off the covering, but I always get that mixed up. Yeah, that one. Really good book if you want to improve yourself. It's kind of like a staple in the self-improvement like niche, I guess. But yeah, so find habits that the person you want to become would do, and use them and put them on a habit tracker. This is mine. It's the 3rd of September as I'm recording this, so there's only 3 days. And I have a couple habits that I'm going to share with you that if you just want like general improvement, and then you can pick some for yourself. What I would say as like a guiding rule is don't start off with more than 5. I think that you can overwhelm yourself, and it's just not good to do that in the beginning. So let's just explain this habit tracker first. So the habit tracker is a grid type thing. If you ever seen like Google Excel, it's like that. So just get, let's say I'll give you 5 habits right now. So meditation, gratitude journaling, reading the Bible, exercising, and reading like knowledge, like not outside of the Bible, reading like stuff like Atomic Habits. So those are 5 habits, right? Put those on the top of your paper, okay? The top row. And then have another row or another, that's be column of numbers, right? And then make a grid. And then every single day that you do a habit, you check off the box for that day and that habit. So for me, dude, I don't know why I keep driving stuff. So for me, I just got home, so I'm going to check off the S for scripting. And yeah, every single day you just check it off, and it kind of just, the whole point is to check your progress, like see how far you've came, because I like going back. Let me show you the very old ones. This is one of my first ones. See, these are the 5 that I had. But it's just cool to see your progress, and also it helps you keep self accountability by just seeing like when you have failed and making you notice that. What I would say is keep your, like for me, I keep this on my desk every single day and where I am pretty much all the time. So keep it on your desk, or I've seen some people put it on the wall, like the Hamza guy. I think he has it on the wall. So do that. Keep it pretty much, just keep it in sight where you can see it for most of the day if you're at home. So yeah, keep it in vision and put the habits on the top, the numbers on the side, and you get the idea. So if you just want to generally improve, those are the 5 that I gave you. I'll say them again: gratitude journaling, meditation, reading, Bible, and exercising. If you want to generally improve in all areas, mental, spiritual, physical health, those are all good. If you have any questions about this, by the way, I'll look at the comments, I guess. You can comment a question and I'll try and answer it. But yeah, that's all it for habits. Just to recap, find habits that the person you want to become has and take them for yourself. Put them into a habit tracker, which is a grid that you check off every day to keep self-accountability. And I gave you some habits to do if you don't want to think some for yourself. I like self-improvement because it's like a personalized thing. So do personalize it yourself. Find things that work for you, find things that don't, and get rid of them, and kind of make it your own thing. You know what I'm saying? Don't just copy me word for word, because that's boring and that's weird. So let's get into the third section, which is execute. So this is the last section. You have found the habits, or first you've made the commitment to continuing on this path, and then you have found the habits that you want to do, that you want to build. Now it's time to execute on them. So you have your habit tracker and you have all the habits with the empty boxes. So in this kind of thing, I want to just talk about mindsets to have, stuff like never quit, always get back up. There's going to be ruts. I'll get more into that, but executing. Okay. What I like to do is, when you're trying to build habits, put them together or attach them to habits that you already have. I don't know if I should have put this in the last chapter, but it is what it is. So if let's say you wake up every day, brush your teeth, you could put gratitude journaling as a habit there. Like after you brush your teeth, you gratitude journal. Because building, like for me, I'll give you an example of my actual life. I, during the summer, wanted to lock in. It sounds gay, but you know what I'm saying. I wanted to like focus up. So I said, I'm gonna gratitude journal because I've been doing that pretty much every single day. And then I want to read the Bible afterwards because I kind of fell off for a little bit, but I'm getting back onto it. So what I did was I attached my gratitude journaling. I attached my gratitude journaling, or other way around. I attached my Bible to my gratitude journaling because I already did that, and then it helped me get them both up to good levels. So I've been doing them both pretty consistently. So if you do want to build habits, like for me, when I had those 5 habits I gave you, gratitude journaling and then meditation, I put those 2 together. So that's one way to help you build habits. Yeah, I mean, execute it's really just looking at the empty boxes and doing the habits. Here, I want to talk about the mindset. This chapter, I guess, is mainly about mindset. So, the first thing I said, if you remember, never give up. I'm not Nick A30, but it's just like, if you give up, then this is all just a waste of time and you're going to lose your progress. Maybe not immediately, but over time you will. So, don't give up because that sucks and that's gay. Just so you do know, things will happen externally and internally. You will cope sometimes, or something actually happens, but it's probably just you coping. But things will happen where you won't be able to do every single habit every day. That reminds me of another thing to think about, is to start small. For meditation especially, don't start off doing 10 minutes. Any habit that you have, make the bar of entry, like the bar of success, this low until you can build it up into a habit, and then you can actually start raising it. So for meditation, let's say you want to do that. Like, I've been doing it for 10 minutes, right? Me personally, I've been doing it for 10 minutes for a while. But I didn't start off like that. I started at 3 minutes every single day. And then I slowly added 30 seconds, maybe once a week. Sometimes I did it every day or something like that. But just start at a low level so that you can build up that habit and that consistency, and then you can raise it. Because if you try to raise it too high, you just won't do it, So yeah, start small. Progress is progress. Something to get ready for. There will be a time, a couple months into it, where you will be in a self-improvement rut. I think there's been a lot of people that have like individually talked about this. People like Hamza, just some random dude on YouTube that I've seen. they talk about the self-improvement rut, and I wanted to make a video on that a while ago, but I was just like, nah. So what it is you're gonna have a moment in a couple months once you started that you'll probably stop for about a week or two. Now that doesn't mean you're a failure. It happens to every single person because we're entering a new life. We went from playing video games to eating junk food to not exercising to doing all these bad things for ourselves, and we've switched so quickly that there is going to be times where we go back to that old life for a little bit. Now it doesn't mean you get to cope and then just stop completely. That means that you can understand that it's like you're not a terrible person for doing it, and you can get back on track. So just know that. Don't be scared. There's no reason to be scared. I don't think you would be anyways, but just in case, don't be scared. Just know that it will happen, and don't cope. Just get through it. I would like to say personally, just to give myself make me look more like humanized, not just some guy talking on the line. A couple days ago, my family came over. We had Pizza Hut. I ate a bunch of slices that are like 1,000 calories one day, and then the next day there was leftovers, so I only ate Pizza Hut that whole day. And I've been on self-improvement for a year. Okay, so when you're starting out, you're going to mess up. Maybe not like as soon as you start it, but once you kind of get used to it, you're gonna get messing up a little bit. So just take it from me, take it from other people like Hamza, who's like openly says he messed up on a lot of things. Take it from me, who started a year ago and messed up a lot. Like even like a year into this, you will mess up, but it is cool. Just keep going. I'm trying to lock in. I don't like saying that, but you get the idea, right? I'm trying to do better, and that's what we all should do. So just to recap this chapter, when you have the habits that you want, go and do them. Every day I want you to try your hardest to do all your habits, and a couple mindsets for you is, one, you won't be able to do them all every single day for a sustained amount of time. You might be able to do it for like a week when you first start out maybe, and then you'll kind of fall off a little bit. But just don't get mad at yourself for doing that, because you're a human being, right? So there's that. Then there's start small, especially for meditation. Like I was saying, starting at 1 minute is completely fine because you've probably never done it in your life. So building that consistency is more important than doing the time or the duration. Consistency is like super important. If you could like trade consistency for like 100, let's say you can meditate for 100 hours, or you could be consistent with meditation for 10 minutes for your whole life. I think 10 minutes for your whole life is a lot better than that. So just value consistency over the duration of your habit. Another thing is things will happen outside or inside of you that will stop you from being able to do everything. Don't hate yourself. It's kind of like the last thing I was saying. Don't hate yourself. It's fine. Just lock in. Don't cope about it. Don't be like, oh, everybody does it, so I get to go and eat more pizza. Don't do that. And I know you will do it at some point. Just try not to. Just focus up and try to do better the next day. Not even the next day. As soon as you realize that you're doing bad, try and do better that day. You know what I'm saying? Because if you say next day, then it's going to be next day, and you're going to keep pushing it back and keep procrastinating it. So that's another tip I guess I'll tell you is, if you ever want to start something, like for me with YouTube or self-improvement, I didn't start the day afterwards. I started that night. I found it at 8 p.m. I made my habit tracker, and I started self-improvement that day. I mean, I didn't do the habits because I didn't really even know what I wanted to do yet, but I committed to it. So that's kind of for you watching this video. Don't wait 2 weeks from now like I did to start self-improvement. As soon as you're done with this video, make the habit tracker, or preferably you already have. Start the commitment in your mind. Be like, I'm going to do this. This is a new chapter of my life. Change stuff around you, and then actually go out and do that stuff. I think that's all. Just to recap the whole video, because I know I'm doing a lot of recaps. I like doing it just for myself and for you guys. Make a mental commitment. Make sure that you have a will to do this so that you can actually do this. What else is there? Habits. Find habits that you want to do. Find habits that the person you want to become is already doing, and then take them for yourself, and then do them yourself. Execute on them. Start small. Value consistency over duration. That's about it. I have other videos if you want to watch them. Thanks for watching. Praise God.